Hey guys, Rothbox here, and we're back with another vintage cube draft. And this time I have a very special guest that we're bringing in today. Good friend of mine, one of the, I would say probably the best kind of philosophical minds of Magic, one of the best writers, one of the longest writers of Magic. And you know him better as the mono white guy, Charles. Charles, you want to say hi?
Hi, how's it going? I don't know what you mean by longest, because I could be like long as in height, which I don't think I am, and longest in terms of been around for a really long time, which I don't know if I've been around that long. Or do you mean long as in like I write really long essays, which is probably that one.
I'm more referring to the 1 out of 4, like the X of 42 meme that you single-handedly started, which is kind of impressive, honestly.
Yes, that is that has been quite I guess like the thing that everyone references me for. It's weird.
To be fair, if you guys have never actually read that Twitter thread, it's actually super insightful. It's really interesting. I highly recommend it. Yes, it's been memed because it's long and haha funny, but it's genuinely such a good tip for playing Magic, and especially CDH in particular. So highly recommend. But yeah, we're gonna jump into some vintage cube. All right, so I asked Noah this question, and it's very important. Do you want to draft to win or draft to have fun?
The answer I'm gonna tell you is I want to draft mono white.
Okay. All right. This is one of those. I didn't want to paint you into a box, but I kind of assumed that that might be the direction we're leading. And to be fair, the vintage cube is kind of the place to do it.
Yes, yeah. So I'll give some explanation as to why, so that it's not necessarily related to any particular brand. I am a little bit familiar with vintage cube. I've done it a couple times with Steve Stillman, who is the legacy player that I think like some people know about.
Yeah, he's really good at One Piece. It's really
yes. Steve is really into One Piece now. He is on the One Piece choo-choo train. He's going to be at Gen Con playing the One Piece tournament, which I'm very excited to see him do. But essentially, yeah, I sort of backseat gamed or watched other players play Vintage Cube, and I don't have a MTGO account, but one of the things I really like to see or do is play mono white. And it's so weird because so many like Vintage Cube players or streamers that I see who do it often just do Reanimator, and to me Reanimator is actually like pretty boring because I've seen it so many times now. I know it's exciting for anyone who's doing it, especially if they're doing it, you know, by themselves, but if you like watch so many players do it, it kind of gets you into a lull. And from what I've heard, white is very consistent, it's very good, but it's also just very boring because it's just you go to combat and that's it. But, you know, oddly enough, it's something that I don't actually get to see happen often in Vintage Cube. That is why I am very interested to see what mono white is like in Vintage Cube.
Hell yeah, I'm super down for that. Also, if you watched the last draft in which we ran Reanimator, I won't take that as a personal assault that Noah and I drafted Reanimator, because it's, to be fair, that deck is always open, which is also why that's drafted a lot. But yeah, no, mono white in this cube is super good. It's very powerful, and a lot of people like don't pick it up because it's simple, quote unquote, but it's super good, and I think we're gonna see that in action. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this draft. Pack 1, you were talking about going mono white.
Yes, all right. So we might not be going mono white. I want to go mono white, but let's actually take a look at what we have here.
Sure.
Mold Drifter is pretty good. I like that. Hydro Crisis is also really good. I'm actually like a bit of a fan of Inferno Titan. I'm not really big into Terrasta. Again, I find Reanimator to be like pretty clunky. So I would say, well, let's just take the Giver of Runes. All right, let's actually try to see if we can go mono white. So take the Giver of Runes first.
I do think, honestly, Giver is a very powerful card. I genuinely think Signets, Giver, and I think the cards you mentioned, Ponder even, are very powerful.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So I'm a huge fan of Skyclave Apparition. Pal's Jailer is also really great. It gives us that like extra card advantage, and with Giver, we can definitely use as a blocker and protect it well. I also really like Knight of the Reliquary. I don't think Knight of the Reliquary is actually going to get picked before anything else does. I think like Shriek Maul is not going to make it around. Treachery would be interesting. I think like Treachery is also going to get taken, but I think we could take the Skyclave apparition first, and hopefully we might see Knight of the Reliquary or Palace Jailer rotate. But I also think Palace Jailer is a pretty high pick from this pile here. Oh, and obviously MCL gets taken as well. Well, actually, I don't know. I feel like MCL is not really good in limited.
So, people like MCL a lot. It is honestly kind of mediocre. Like, it is sorcery speed. It's on top of your library. It is so
It's card
telegraphed.
disadvantage. Yeah, it's card disadvantage.
It's still powerful in Vintage Cube because you can set up storm turns and stuff like that better. But that being said, you really have to do exactly that. If it's any other deck, it's pretty dead.
All right. If we're going on this train, right, I might take the Concealed Courtyard because Black, White, Death and Taxes I think is also pretty good, but I also really like Elspeth Conquers Death. We don't have anything to commit ourselves really into going Black, White yet that I've seen. I mean, like I said, the Shriek Maul I don't think is going to rotate, but if it does, if we see the Shriek Maul in the next pack, we can grab it, and then hopefully Concealed Courtyard also gets rotated. So let's just stick with, Elspeth Conquers Death. Though I don't really see it fitting into like the whole D&T strategy, but let's just see.
I do think it's a powerful card. If anything, it's a good sideboard card. Some decks are going to be a little slower, and this card is extremely powerful when it lands. Other than cards in this pack besides it, I love Sneak Attack. Sneak Attack is probably my favorite, my favorite archetype in the cube. But we go mono white. We do this. Ooh, okay. I know what my pick is for this pack.
Oh yeah. Elite Spellbinder and Bladespicer are both really, really, really good. And it really kind of depends on like where we want to go at here. I mean, like the evasion for Elite Spellbinder, like I believe Ephemerate is in this cube, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so man, they're both really good with Ephemerate. Actually.
Yep, they're both extremely good with Ephemerate. So,
okay, I might take the Elite Spellbinder though.
Yep, that is exactly my pick. I think this card is such a pain in the ass. Like, it's such tempo disadvantage for your opponent. It's card knowledge for you. It's a 3/1 flyer. It's a clock. I think this card is actually incredibly good in Vintage Cube. Like, Grief is also amazing for that. And, like, there's a bunch of good cards in here. Time Warp is a little slow but good. Phantasmal Image. But I think Spellbinder's incredible.
Again, if we go into Black-White, we are actually really set up, especially if we already have kept a mental footnote of what cards we want to see get rotated.
Yeah.
Now we have Sword of Feast and Famine and Council's Judgment here. I completely like disregarded Loyal Retainers.
Yeah.
That's more for like the Reanimator package than anything else. But Council's Judgment is really, really good. But Sword of Feast and Famine, like, so in EDH, a lot of people love this because it untaps the lands. Here in Limited, I actually like this a lot for the discard. I think it's really powerful, and it fits well into that whole Black-White Death and Taxes style theme. And we already have like two kinds of removal pieces. Again, like I'm a little bit iffy about Elspeth Conquers Death because it's high in mana value, but I will go with Sword first and see if Council rotates. Council is also like a harder pick for people to grab because it's literally double white pips.
Yeah.
Elder Norn, I think, is just really, really good. Enlightened Tutor, it looks like a really powerful white card, but here we have to ask ourselves, what are we trying to Enlightened Tutor, and is it really worth it? You know, like while I said like Sword is really good, I don't think it's like the kind of card where we want to like 2-for-1 for it, right? Because again, a lot of these tutors that put cards on the top basically forego your card, your regular card draw for the turn, so it is technically like a card disadvantage for finding the card that you're looking for.
Yeah, we do get to put Elspeth Conquers Death on top, but I mean, that's if we're playing it. It is definitely a card for a very specific playstyle. I don't even know if Elish Norn honestly makes the deck. I think she's extremely powerful, but at 5, it's rough.
Okay, there's the Ephemerate. All right, I think we need to grab the Ephemerate before anything else.
Yeah, I love Flicker Wisp. I think Flicker Wisp was a great card in D&T. But Ephemerate, so this pack is incredible for us because it has Ephemerate, Flicker Wisp, and if we go Black and White, it's got Toxic. But I do think Ephemerate
going Red-White is also pretty good.
Red-White's also quite good.
Yeah, and we did have, with the Black-White land, there was also the Red-White land.
Sacred Foundry was there. We also passed the Inspiring Vantage, which I believe is the Red-White Slow Land or whatever they're called. But I think Ephemerate's the best pick here. This card is incredible. It was banned in, was it in banned in Pauper? It was banned in some format, I thought.
It was not banned in Pauper. I think all right, so both, oh man, Tide Hollow Scholar is so good. But this is actually really good because nobody picked Tide Hollow Scholar. I do like Recruit of the Guard, but I think Recruit of the Guard might be too slow. But it's so good with the blink mechanic. This is tough. I would take Tide Hollow Scholar, actually. Like, we're not technically in Black-White, but this card is actually, I think, too good to pass up.
Yeah, I think Recruiter is good, but it's slow. It's much better when you're finding combo pieces, just because of how expensive it is. It's 3 mana to do that.
All right. So, what is Jaster?
Oh, so Jadar, at the beginning of your end step,
Jadar.
if you don't have a 2/2 Decayed zombie, you make a 2/2 zombie token with Decayed, which is they cannot block. At the end of their attack step, they are sacrificed. So it's kind of like a very slow.
I'd go
Bitter
with
Blossom.
Oust.
Yeah, so
I'd go
I
with
agree.
Oust.
They have a sacrifice deck in this cube, and he's interesting in that, and he is kind of an annoying pressure. Ooh.
We're not that kind of deck. Oh, great. Shriek Maul rotated. All right.
But what about, or do we go for the silent clearing?
Oof.
Yeah, I was like, this decision was. I love Shriek Maw, but.
All right. I think we have a fair amount of removal, and we can blink those. But Shriek Maul is so good with Ephemerate. I would take the silent clearing though. I would rather have a more consistent mana base.
Ooh, and Concealed Courtyard came back.
Yeah, and we're gonna take the Concealed Courtyard.
Yeah. So now we're pretty firmly which makes it.
There's a case where we could take Snuff Out, but if we chose, a mana fixing land over a terror effect, which is essentially also what Snuff Out is, then I think it's consistent that we do it the same here.
I also think that
I think Shriek Maul is better than Snuff Out.
Yeah, I also think Snuff Out only deals with basic swamps.
All right, cool. And we're gonna take the Blaze Blazer.
Yep, exactly. But because it deals with basic swamps, and we have 2 black lands that are not swamps, so we kind of want to go as heavy mono white as we can. I actually think it's kind of awkward. I think I take the Horizon Canopy here as a white source that draws
it has
a
card draw. Yeah.
Yeah. And
we'll take the Inspiring Vintage. Yeah. So in case we pivot to red, we got it. Oh, and Flicker Wisp came back.
All right. So yeah, mono white is open as usual.
The double white pips, I think. So this is from like a cube analysis. I think double white discourages people from committing to it too early into the game, which is why white tends to be very open, because a lot of the good ones tend to, like, if you draft it, you almost have to be like, all right, I'm doing more white cards.
Yeah, I agree. So
Elspeth is really good. Student Warfare has a special place in my heart. I really love the art of Student Warfare. However, this card actually kind of sucks. Because
I actually think he's decent at Vintage Cube, because so many decks are trying to combo or do crazy things. Just having if you let him on turn 1 and then on turn 2 you have a 3 with your first striker, a lot of decks, especially if they're not be able to randomize in fast, it's powerful.
Okay, my thought process is what decks would run Student Warfare, because I would take Elspeth before I take Student Warfare, because I want to take Student Warfare, but I think that Elspeth gets picked before Student Warfare.
Okay, no, that's fair, because my hope is honestly that Vindicate wheels.
Oh, ooh, okay. We can only take 2 from this pile.
Yeah, that's what. So I'm also happy taking Knight Errant, because I think Knight Errant's generically powerful.
Yes.
And she closes out games.
I would take Knight Errant.
Okay.
I really love Student Warfare though. It's just that like the build up in Student is that like we almost kind of have to have it on. Oh, Winds of Abandon. I would take. Oh man, this is really Boy Walker is also insane.
I'm also looking at Lingering Souls though.
I think, all right, if we are like the Death and Taxes type of deck, I think we do want to run like something like Dothy Boywalker, and we do have like the mana fixing or part of it available with like the 2 black-white lands, and I think that Winds of Abandon is going to rotate, so let's grab Dothy.
Okay.
There's an Orzhov Signet, which is also really good. There's also Dismember, which is also really good.
I think I'm leading Dismember personally, just because right now all our black stuff is 2-drop, which means the Signet basically just makes it for really awkward mana, and Dismember is a 1 mana count, like removal spell.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed.
Ooh,
March of Otherworldly. Oh, Stoneforge. All right, let's grab the Stoneforge. All right.
Yeah, because I think
because this is really good signaling the mass land destruction. I mean, I also really like Luris.
I think
Ravages is going to wheel.
Yeah, you want to go Luris?
Yeah, let's grab Luris.
Like, I think Luris is super good.
Yeah, people are going to take Luris before they take Ravages. Parallax Wave is also really powerful. It's not typically played in Death and Taxes style decks, but it's really like control adjacent. The other cards I'm not too happy about. Usher of the Fallen. I mean, we can run Usher of the Fallen. It's a 1 mana 2/1, so it's like a Savannah Lion. So yeah, let's just grab Usher of the Fallen.
Okay. I think I agree with it. I like Parallax, but I think Parallax is okay. Interesting.
Balance. All right, so Balance is really hype, but I don't think Balance is actually good for what we're doing.
Yeah, so I think Balance.
I would rather take Angel Sanctions over balance.
Yeah, so I think balance is an incredible card if you build around it properly. Like, you need to have taken every signet. You need to have, like, there's certain things you have to do, and I think our deck is just not doing that.
The person who would be playing balance is the same person who would be playing loyal retainers. Is the thing. It fits more into those kinds of decks than this type of deck that we're running. Also, yeah, Elish Norn is pretty good. I mean, like, I don't think we would feasibly play her, but like temporary lockdown actually hurts us. So I don't think we want to.
Yeah, I agree.
Temporary lockdown.
I'm gonna throw her in the sideboard for now. I think she's great. Oh,
okay. Student Warfare has rotated,
and
but
so,
we want the Vindicate, right?
I don't know. That's a good question. So Student is much easier on our mana. It's a earlier threat, but Vindicate removes literally anything, and we are in kind of the perfect deck for it.
I would take the Vindicate. It fits better to the play pattern because we can Vindicate their lands.
So I am also looking. I guess to be fair, this is the one drop one. I'll move that there. Okay. I'm just a little worried our 3's getting a little clogged, but I mean,
because the issue with Student is that if we play it on turn 1, if we want to turn it into a first striker, yeah, there we go. Yeah, wins always just rotates based on mod experience, so it's why like I don't ever like pick it first when I see it, and then we could just grab the Signet. I mean, like Hangerback Walker is also really good, by the way, if they play like a board wipe and stuff. But you know, I think Signet is fine here because we might actually be going on a higher end anyway, which is also pretty fine. We're like a more mid-rangey deck at this point.
Yeah, we like if we can pick up like a Thalia or like a few more disruptive cards, because we're not full in on like white aggro right now. It definitely seems like we are that Death and Taxes like value creatures and kind of just wear you down in a mid-range game.
All right. Do we play against the opponents in this draft?
No, this is a league, so we're not.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's just take Jetmir's Garden.
You got it.
Because it's a red-white land.
Yeah, true. It is. I wasn't. For some reason, my brain it was like, it's a green something land. And I was like, oh right, the other colors we might be. Yeah.
It's Naya-centric, but it's red-white for us. I didn't see a lot of red get rotate here.
No.
So that's really interesting. I think someone's really getting into red and might be like red-blue going on.
Well, it's always one of those interesting things to me where I feel like people are really in Vintage Cube like, oh, mono red, red aggro, and it's just like they don't look at mono white in the same vein. And like, granted, they're different decks, but
all right, yeah, take the Ravages of War now.
And the
Parallax Wave.
Well,
Nice.
we've gotten literally everything you wanted to wheel, so this is nice.
Yeah. So again, well, the other thing is that red is more flexible. A lot of red spells, like for example, Monastery Swiftspear is only 1 red. Incinerate is also 1 red. But if you want to run like the white removal spells, you almost have to be running double white.
Yeah.
Armageddon is going to rotate. Do we have a use for Mana Vault in our
That's
deck?
what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if we want to go into like Elish Norn, Angel Sanctions, other Elish Norn, if we want to put them in the 7-drop one in, it's possible.
Yeah,
The Restoration Angel's good with
Restoration Angel. I think is just better than anything.
with Skyclave, Flicker Wisp, Elite Spellbinder,
and
Blade
Ephemerate.
Smasher. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, Mana Tide is really good. Leaning Relic Order. I actually love Leaning Relic Order. I think that card is actually pretty insane.
Okay. There is
But
Godless Shrine if we want to bank on one of those wheeling.
so we took both of the black-white lands and they were like last picks. That will wheel.
But this is a fetchable one is my concern.
A fetchable one. I mean, do we have anything to fetch it right
So
now?
not currently, yeah.
Yeah.
We can take Relic Warder if you'd like. I think that's not a terrible pick. I think this card's very powerful.
Okay, I think Relic Order is not going to. All right, Relic Order will not. The only player who would take a Relic Order is someone who's running like Animate Dead Aristocrats, right? In most other cases, I don't think Relic Order has a place in anyone's deck. Neither does Manatee, so let's just take the Godless Shrine first.
Okay.
Right. We can also take Liliana.
Oh,
actually.
sorry. I think you're correct. Ooh, okay. So we have the Stone Forge, and I think GT is...
Yeah, GT is good.
Because I think Hero's also very good. I think Cathar Commando is incredible.
Hero is going to rotate. We're going to take the GT first. GT is so splashable. All right, so Elspeth Sun's Champion is very expensive.
Yes.
I don't see her or Elish Norn likely getting played here. I like Adamto, Vanguard, and Porcelain Legionnaire. I would say I take the Porcelain Legionnaire first before I take the Vanguard. I think we're going to just take a pass on Elspeth and we're going to grab Vanguard on the next rotation. And if someone decides that they want to take Vanguard, then golly gee, we're going to take Elspeth.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're correct though. I also think I was trying to debate which one's better, Porcelain or Danto. They're essentially both 3-1s for 2.
We are spending too much life already on like stuff like Dismember. Okay, Gideon is really good. Guardian of Girapor. Can you like hover over that? So when this ETB is exiled to one other target creature or artifact you control, return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. I would take Gideon. I think Gideon is not going to. Oh, there's also a scrub lane here.
I saw that too.
This is tough.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, well, we already have 3 black-white sources, right?
Yeah.
I think a scrub land. I think what we want more is something like Gideon than Mana Fixing at the moment. And the next thing that I would take is Guardian of Girapor. If any one of those does not rotate, actually, how many ETBs do we have?
We have quite a bit.
Actually, just take Gideon.
Yeah,
Right.
we have
Alright,
quite a
cool.
bit, but we also have quite a bit of ways to flicker them currently.
So Recurring Nightmare is really good for the Reanimator style. Does Ancient Tomb do anything for us?
It's actually kind of awkward because of how many double pips we have.
Yep. This is my soul ring thread
Yeah,
all over
yeah.
again. I would say, I do like Bitter Blossom. I mean, that's just like cumulative damage.
And then they also
Might be-
like hold the GT super well.
Yes, I agree. All right, let's take the Bitter Blossom. I mean, it's fascinating because we haven't seen Athalia. I mean, yeah, auto grab Solitude. There's nothing else to be said here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Gideon Jura also. Wow. All right, I don't think we need a Gideon Jura. Spectral Procession is actually kind of hard to cast for us because we are doing black. So take the Sparta's head. Wait, no, that's blue-white, not black-white.
Yeah, that's banned.
Yeah, I guess we'll grab the Spectral.
So I think I would hedge on Spectral. I don't know if we need to play it. I'll throw it in the sideboard for now.
All right, so now we grab. Do we want the Armageddon or the Theomancer? I think we.
Good
I think
question.
we grab the Armageddon.
Yeah.
Let's just grab the Armageddon.
Called it.
Yeah. So Mana Tithe or Lean and Relic Order. I think I would take the Lean and Relic Order, because it's just really good against like Animate Dead kind of effects.
Yeah, the fact that it exiles an artifact or enchantment, and there are still artifact decks in this, and yeah, Animate Dead, Necromancy, all those Reanimator abilities. Even heck, you can take a sneak attack, which is crazy.
All right, Cathar Commando is also really good.
Yep.
Yeah, here comes the Vanguard.
Here we go, yeah. Here we go.
Take the Guardian Girapor. All right. All right, yeah, and we take the Blood Gas.
The sideboard, and Scald's good, but we're not playing it. Holy cow. This was 3 packs, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I'm like, this feels like we got everything we wanted, so I'm like genuinely like, okay. Holy bejeebers. Okay, so we are at 34 cards without lands. We got a lot to cut. Some of it, I guess, depends on how more so in the aggressive direction we want to lean. I think if we're going more aggressive, Loris is maybe not the pick. It does let us cast a bunch of these again.
I think Lurs is pretty good. I mean, it also has the lifelink.
It's
which is
true.
relevant. I agree with all the stuff at the top. All right, so we need to cut down to 23 cards. How many cards do we have again?
Yes, we're at 34. I think we
34?
can go to 24, honestly. I don't think our curve's that high that I think it'd be fine.
Yeah. Okay, so Elishnorn Mother of Machines is actually really gas with a lot of these ETBs that we've
I mean,
got.
Blade Splicers, Spellbinder, Guardian flickers 2 creatures, flickers 2 or one of theirs. Skyclave gets 2 things. Relic Order gets 2. This gets both equipments.
Those equipments, yeah. All right, so we don't need multiple Armageddon effects. Let's just cut one of the Armageddon effects.
Okay.
Which one has the better flavor text?
War destroys more than just land. War destroys whole.
Oh, I love this flavor text. This is one of my favorites. This
And-
one was from the original. I would go with Armageddon over
You
Raptors.
got it. Got that one.
Sorry. We spent too much time talking about aesthetics here. Parallax Wave, I would cut that.
I agree. I think it's actually kind of not bad with the blink stuff, but I think it's a little slow. I think we have enough to do with it already.
Well, I think there is a loop that you can do with Lean and Relic Order, but it's too much brain matter.
Oh,
for me right
yeah.
now.
Charles, I'm the one clicking things. You know I will screw something up.
All right, we keep the Vindicate, we keep the Sword of Feast and Famine. Elspeth Conquers Death is a question, and I think it is the answer is I think we're going to try and run it.
Are we?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does
I
trigger
think
twice off Elishnorn.
I think it just does so much for us actually.
Sure.
And I don't think it triggers twice because it's not an ETB. It's a trigger when you put the counters on the side.
Oh, sorry, you're correct. You're correct.
Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna keep Elish Mom. But let's look at our 3 drops, which we're pretty heavy on. So Lure, Skyclave Apparitions, Flicker Wisp, Guardian of Gearport, Elite Spellbinder, Blade Splicer, Porcelain Legionnaire. I would probably just Porcelain Legionnaire is technically a 2-drop for us. I don't think we're ever going to
yes, correct.
forecast it. Yeah, all right. So scroll down. Let's see what spells we want to not be really running.
I'm thinking Oust is probably the one we're cutting.
Yeah, we have harder removal than Oust, so let's get rid of Oust.
Yeah. Is it worth cutting Bitter Blossom?
Yes.
Okay.
Bitter Blossom is relatively slow for us because we're not attacking with our fairies until turn 4.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to think if we play Signet or cut Signet.
we cut Signet.
Okay.
Yeah, like if we're being very lean about stuff, like, because the thing is that if our turn 2 is to play Signet, then we're not actually putting out a Hate Bear, and we already have a Hate Bear to like put out on turn 2, so we're not really developing with Signet.
Yeah, that's I agree. I might cut Night Aaron.
Oh yeah, let's cut Elspeth.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna keep Gideon.
Yeah.
But let's cut Elspeth. All right. Gideon does a lot of things for us.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Anthems, makes Knights, or just bashes in indestructible.
For 5.
Yeah.
4 mana, 5/5. I mean, I heard Blastoderm is in this cube, so that has to be good, right?
I mean, there's some choices that were added that were questionable at best. So.
All right. How much removal are we packing here?
So.
Because I think we actually just cut Winds of Abandon. Like,
okay.
The Path to Exile is not good in limited, I think.
Yeah. So.
Especially in early game.
Because I'm looking at G-Take and remove, Vindicate, Dismember, so 3, Elspeth 4, Solitude 5, Sanction 6, Skyclave Apparition 7. I mean, I guess 7, but we also have a bunch of ways to re-trigger Skyclave or Solitude. I mean, Relic Warder even technically to a degree, Cathar Commando and removing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. I think Winds is, because it's sorcery speed, it's 2 mana, I definitely think it's something we could board into if we need to, but I think it's a game 2 or 3 card.
I think I would cut Angel of Sanctions because it doesn't necessarily synergize with our blinks. It synergizes with Elish Norn.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. I would actually cut Usher of the Fallen. I think we have a lot of creatures already, and Usher is like our weakest creature right now.
Okay. With
our given game plan. And so now we're at 25. If you want to go with 24, we have to make one more cut.
This is where it becomes tough. Is it just Flicker Wisp? Like, no, Flicker Wisp is good, but is it just a worse version of Guardian of Gearper? I mean, you can't exile your opponent's things, which is...
You can exile your opponent's things, yeah.
But I'm saying Guardian cannot.
Yeah.
But you have a 3/3 flyer versus a 3/1 flyer.
I mean, Flicker Wisp is a slow flicker, too, and it works well with Ephemerate as well, and Resto Angel.
Yeah.
And
if we have
that's
Guardian
like a
already
huge... I mean, well, Guardian doesn't have Flash, does she?
Well, neither does Flicker Wisp.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that in terms of like how you play it, like you can go end of turn, Flash and Restoration Angel, blink Flicker Wisp to remove your opponent's blockers, and then you can just go in for the punch.
Yeah, no, okay. So then do we cut Guardian then?
Yeah. Let's cut Guardian, alright.
Okay.
I thought she was a fast blink, not a slow blink.
No, Guardian's a slow blink, just like Flicker Wisp. Okay. Alright, this deck seems powerful. Let's jump into the first game.
Alright.
Let me... Okay, so we won the die roll. We're going first. Yes, we will be on the play. And this hand's awkward.
Yeah, you pitched this hand.
Yeah.
One land hand is not good. All right, this is good. And I would put a swamp to the bottom.
Yes, I concur. It's slow, which is not ideal.
But
I mean,
you do have a solitude.
Yeah, it's true. We can deal with anything if needs be. Alright, so they're on green and they did not hit a mana dork, which okay, so that's pretty good.
That's good for us.
Yeah.
Alright, we also have a Vindicate. I'd say play the swamp.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's yeah, I mean, we'll have double white regardless. This way we can get double black if we need to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, it depends what they do.
Wall roots? Okay, yeah, sure. Sure thing, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna say not with Vindicating. Oh, okay, so we did all the
nice.
Voidwalker. Okay, do we just play
So-
Luris? Just as a first lifelinker?
Yeah. Yeah, just play the Luris. You have no way of casting Voidwalker, and yeah, there's nothing really worth Vindicate right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do the really funny thing and Solitude the Wall Roots and Vindicate the Forest to set them back to turn 1.
Just rub it in harder than it's ever been rubbed in before. Alright, so 4 mana.
This looks like a Blastoderm.
Oh, Wild
no, it's
Speaker.
Garrett
This is fine.
This
Same thing, I
person's
can-
just ramping. Okay.
I mean, they can make a beast, I guess, but I don't really care. This I can Vindicate, though. Oh, yeah, so they're ramping. So they can go 2 more lands. Okay. Just some other idiot. Oh, X for 1. Yeah, so that's fine. Yeah, so I'm most likely just going to Vindicate Garrick. I just don't want to deal with it.
Swing at Garrick and see.
Well, they have
what
a
they're
0/4.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Because this quits for 2, yeah.
No, don't. Yeah, just swing at Garrick and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. I always like to do this with my opponents.
Yeah,
it
just-
gives me some. Yeah. All right, cool. Cool. All right, Vindicate Garrick.
Yeah, you... Okay, wait. I mean, so they still have ramp, but this is also fine. We still have Solitude in hand. Would have liked to hit a land drop there, but that's okay. They're at 6 mana if they want.
It's mono green. Wait, Thragtusk? Oh, they're adding black. Ooh.
Yeah, that wasn't intentional. Well, it could have been an act. Like, so it also defaults to, like, they could have clicked on the top option, which is black for this. So,
Okay.
we'll see.
Primal
Okay,
Command.
so
Okay, yeah.
that's a no.
They're going to put target not. Okay, yeah. So they're just going to time walk us, which is totally fine.
Yeah, that's fine. They're also searching the library for a creature card, putting it in their hand.
Okay.
But they have 1 mana after this, so
Sure.
it's not ideal, but it's kind of, and they get Primeval
I
Titan,
mean,
which
sure.
is annoying, but saying that we have Solitude, I'm not super worried.
Yes.
So we know we're drawing.
All right. Play the Jitte and well, swing first and then play the Jitte.
Yeah, I was like, they cannot block this anymore, which is nice, and yeah, might as well. Bluff like I have mana tied up, or path. You don't know me.
That's smart.
Always be bluffing, man. That's the one thing I have actually learned from playing long enough, that just like sometimes you make that attack that's just a complete lie, because you really, like, your opponents get psyched out.
Yeah.
That's
Rex
annoying.
Stage.
That's kind of the perfect answer at
I mean,
the perfect time.
we have Luris.
Oh yeah, right. Is it permanent? Oh yeah, cool,
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So if we get another land, yeah, we can just play it and equip it, and that's hilarious. We have a lot of really live draws in this deck, so I'm hoping we draw one of those.
If we hit a swamp or a black-white source, that'll be very good for us, because then we can play both Voidwalker and Jitte.
Yeah. All right, so draw Skyclave.
All right, Skyclave is also fine. Because they're currently stuck at 4 lands. I would
Well, they have-
Skyclave the Wall of Roots.
But then we lose Loris if we want to attack.
We're not attacking.
And they're
this
also
turn.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, they're at 6. 1, 2,
Oh,
3, 4, 5, 6.
Sorry. My bad. I miscounted. All right.
Yeah, you're fine.
And then don't play the Skyclave. Just play the Jitte.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to attack then. Or do I still attack? No, because I traded
No,
2-1
the-
for Luris. Yeah. Okay, so not ideal. This is fine.
Well, this is definitely fine because they're going to play Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
We'll go to 3 cards left in hand. I don't know what lands they're going to tutor for. I don't think.
Oh, they played Nissa first. Okay, so they don't have 6 mana though. Oh, now they have 5 mana. Oh, they untap. That's why. Duh. I'm stupid. This card's dumb. I really hate this card. Okay, so I'm gonna see what they get first before we path, or before we Solitude if we need to. Because if they get something like Dark Depths,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, just 2 basic forests.
Cool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. I think I would pitch the Gideon, by the way.
Yeah,
And hit the Primeval Titan.
I agree. I'm gonna do that at end step. would like to target you. Okay, what do we got? Interesting.
All right. I would. They have 2 cards in hand. They have all the mana in the world. I
Yeah.
don't think Elite Spellbinder is going to do much. I would Skyclave Apparition the land.
I cannot. It's a non-creature, non-land.
What?
Non-land,
Oh.
non-token. Yeah, no, I just looked at that and was pretty upset.
All right. I would Skyclave Apparition. Well,
So my thought is like
actually-
you can equip Luris and attack.
Yeah, yeah. Equip Lurus and attack. Yes.
Because that way, if we need to, we can also kill this guy and their 2/1.
Yep. So.
Do I attack them or Nissa?
attack Nissa?
Okay.
Definitely attack Nissa. We want to put Nissa into the danger zone all the time.
Yeah.
So in terms of like mana advantage, we are at quite the disadvantage.
Do
But
I
in terms of,
hold up the counters or just kill these guys now?
I think you kill them now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's kill that. Let's kill that. Okay. I'm very annoyed that Skyclave can't hit the land, because I was thinking that too, and I was like, we just get rid of the land, they get it back, it's like a nice basic land. But, oh no, it's gone forever anyway, but... Frustrating. I guess it's because it comes back, you get a 0/0 token, and so they were like, oh, you can't hit tokens or lands, because that way they get nothing.
All right. What big fatty kid are you
I
playing?
think we're about to lose to an Eldrazi's, was what's about to happen.
Oh, mono green Eldrazi's.
I mean, I see 10 mana. I can only think of the worst. Oh, Tooth and Nail.
Tooth and
So
Nail.
we're dead either way, most likely. Probably Creator of Avenger. That's the classic. What was revealed? Oh, that's not revealed. Kogla and Sundering Titan. That's a weird combination.
Okay.
We are
he's
dead
gonna
to that.
Blow up the Umazal Jete and blow up our 2 lands and their 1 forest.
Well, they don't blow up our land yet. They kill Luris.
Oh, I thought Kogla.
On attack, he
Kogla
destroys
blows
it.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
On ETB, he fights. On attack, he destroys an artifact. Or enchantment? Yeah. So I think we scoop and go to the next game, though.
Yeah.
Because we're now down to 1 land, and they have huge idiots, and we cannot really deal with it.
I think we should go to 17 lands rather than 16.
I mean, I think that... I mean, we can. I think that's some... like, of a, bias of the game, but I think that's fine. But what would you cut, though?
Good question. I think I probably would just cut Gideon.
Okay. Let's try that back then. 17 lands, cut Gideon, see how this goes. All right, on the play. This is good. I think it's a little land heavy, but we do have Vanguard and Digite.
Oh, this is great. Wonderful. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep...
We're gonna be paying some life though, which is the only problem. I guess it's only if they block though, and if they block with anything, it's just
we
dying.
can gain life with GT.
Oh, also true. I always forget it has that mode. Yeah, it could just gain 2 life.
GT is just a phenomenal magic card.
You say phenomenal, I say extremely broken. But I mean, yes.
In the right hands, it can feel very extremely broken.
It to me, it's the deals damage, not combat, or deals combat damage, not to play or anything. It's just like, oh, you blocked. It's like, yep, game over. It's like, oh.
It makes fighting in combat with GT very, very hard. But
Oh,
that's kind
true.
of like the point of GT.
I still think my favorite fact is the uncard, the card with triple strike and a GTA is a 1-shot kill. So I think it's a 3/3. No, maybe it's a 4. I don't know. But it's just like the fact that it's like, because between each yeah, it is a 3/3. So between each trigger though, you get the counters. Okay, there you go. Opponent decided to keep. All right, so lands. Is it worth playing the silent clearing? We'd have to take a damage for it, but it does let us keep double black up possibly on turn 3. But I guess
The
we
only
can't.
double black we need is Daunte Voidwalker.
Yes, also
and
we
our
can't.
opponent has not shown anything to us
Yeah.
for why we need it. All right, cool. You have.
I'm gonna really hope. That's fine. I don't need to pay the pain land yet. We don't need to draw cards yet. I'm gonna really hope they don't have Reclamation Sage again in hand, because I think if we don't have GTA Online, it's gonna be difficult.
Possibly. I mean, like Elish Norn is also just really good at shutting
Oh.
them down.
Well,
Oh.
shit. Okay.
It's this kind of game.
We're gonna see what they do. Yeah, we'll see what they put out. Yeah. Cool. This is one of the ones that also is a pain, because like it always takes them forever to figure out how to like make it work or to do the thing, And so, just from playing the perspective, like, they're like 2 minutes down on us. Are they going to combat? They cast channel and pass their turn.
Wow. They
I don't-
really goofed up.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I know what to do. I'm going to attack them.
Just play the planes and play and swing with the Vanguard.
Yeah. I agree.
See what they do. See how they're going to respond with their 0-1.
Like, I don't know what happened. Did they not realize that channel makes only colorless? And they're like, oh, I need double green, and they just didn't think. Do I play Luris or Jite here?
You play Luris because you can go Jite and equip next.
That's
turn.
what I was thinking too, but
Luris also just gets like the extra.
yeah, I mean, plus it's lifelink to
combat.
deal with Vanguard,
Yes.
though, which is nice.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you just clock in faster this way. So they clearly just top deck this mana crypt.
yes, they have a ton of mana here.
I suspect a Primeval Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Primeval
Sure.
Titan. They're going to take a lot of damage next turn. Alright. So, I would play the Elite Spellbinder.
Yeah.
See what...
I'm leaning in the same camp. Okay, what do they got? Oh, we take the Terastodon. You're never casting this.
I play the Silent Clearing now.
Yeah.
Pass the turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're not attacking. So I guess now, would we double block with Spellbinder Luris?
Yeah, I think so. It saves you removal because what you're really going to win with, I think, is just the GT at this point.
Yeah. Oh, they drew something good. That's annoying. Because they need one more extra mana to cast Terastodon. They top deck
wow.
that. Great. They
Did
can't
they-
entwine it, though. They're just casting the get 2 creatures.
Okay.
So depending what they...
So next turn, I think we do play the Elish Norn.
Yeah, depending what they... I think we do play the Elish Norn because it means... I mean, they can play idiots, but they're not going to have ETBs. Depending on what they get, of course.
I think what they're going to get are ETB guys. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah, that's... I mean, that's probably true.
I mean, based on their performance from last game, I'm very, very certain.
They got Hornet Queen and Kogla. Yep, that's a good call.
Yep.
Oh, they had enough to entwine it? Really? It's not. They had 9? Oh, damn, they did have exactly 9. That's so frustrating.
Wow, this is just not our day.
Yeah, it's okay. It happens. So in that case... Oh,
Alright, we're gonna take the 6.
that's 7, but yeah.
Oh, because of Exalted, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that mana crypt really was pretty good for them to draw. Okay. That's
Alright.
fine, yeah. I mean, I could have...
What do we have?
Yeah, because blocking it into be indestructible against trample doesn't matter.
Yeah. We just lose more life in that process. Alright. I don't know how we win.
I don't think
Kogla.
we do, is the problem. So
Kogla
realistically...
is a 7/6?
7/6, yeah. And it blows up in an artifact enchantment, so it would blow up GT.
I think we still play Elish Norn here.
Okay.
And let's see what happens next.
Sure.
We are like a turn too slow.
Yeah,
This
that's exactly
matchup.
what it was. We were exactly a turn too slow, which is frustrating.
Let's see what this does for our opponent. They have only a forest in their hand and one card that we don't know. And they just play the forest, I believe.
I mean, they can play Terastodon now, but it doesn't trigger, which is good. It
Yep.
does give them a 9/9 still, but
Yeah, that's still a huge problem.
if we can draw Solitude, I think we're okay.
Yeah, Solitude would be really, really fantastic here, actually. Alright. That's cool. Kogla's got nothing to blow up. I think we killed the prime time for sure.
Oh.
Double block.
Oh yeah, because that doesn't have Exalted, so I can double block with these two.
Well, at least Spellbinder blocks and kills the Hornet.
Yeah, so I guess that's another option. Oh, so I could block Primal Titan to kill this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that. Because it does also mean we can throw out GT Vigilance on it and pick off 2 Hornets also if we need to.
Yep.
Yeah, let's go blocks. Block you. Block you. Does the trample? No.
Yeah, so we mitigate 3
points.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Kogla.
Yes. Which is not great, but it's, you know, not nothing. Yeah, they're gonna play their big idiot.
Terrastodon.
Yeah. But luckily, right now, he's just a big idiot. Oh, 12. Oh, God. Is this an Eldrazi? Did they top deck an Eldrazi after top decking, like, tooth and nail when having nothing in hands? No. What? Oh, no, because now they can untap 2 lands and then play the 9/9.
Yeah, and they're set up for an overrun next turn. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, this is really, really bad.
Yeah,
we
we're
really do need
extra dead.
Solitude here.
Yeah, Solitude is what we need off the top.
Sol-
Was nothing else. I don't think does it.
Oh,
That does kind of do it. It's
how
not
much mana
perfect.
do we have?
We have 6 mana.
Yeah.
So not enough
Alright.
to equip Jute. So we are not dead.
I think we kill Garrick, and then
I was-
next turn.
I was gonna say kill
Wait,
Terrastodon, Elishnorn into Garrick.
Oh yeah. You're correct. Kill Terrastodon, and then kill Garrick. Then do we just die on the best
It
one?
fucking okay. My mouse double clicked on the silent clearing. So when I clicked Vindicate, I was trying to tap for mana and it assumed I was clicking on my silent clearing as the target.
It happens.
That's frustrating. I actively okay. That one's on me. It's fine. Let's go to the next game. That was not our game. All right,
You're
so we won the dice roll. We're going to go play first. This hand's pretty good. This is kind of the hand we're talking about.
Yep, cool. All right, let's keep it.
We're gonna drop Porcelain on 2, and then the beep
Yeah.
choo choo doesn't stop.
Yeah, Godless Shrine into play tapped on the play.
Yep.
And
I
we have some good options on turn 2 to see what happens.
Yeah, I concur. We'll see what they do, because honestly, like, I'm also not against like turn 2 Legionnaire, turn 3 Vindicate, one of the like their important things, and just Armageddoning, which maybe is extreme, but
I think it's very powerful,
yeah. Oh right, sorry.
especially if they like. Yeah.
Do not pay 2 life, but I will pass go.
MTGO is so fickle.
Yes. So I should also be using keyboard shortcuts. I said this last time with Noah. My keyboard is very mechanical and clacky, and so because it's so clacky, I don't want to use it while.
Yeah, because it's so loud.
Yeah, it's so loud. Okay, so good. Tap land. Ha, those idiots. They have no idea what's coming for them.
All right, now we're gonna drop the Legionnaire.
Yes. And then soon the beach trains will commence. I kind of hope they play something like a relic, because then we can just steal it, and then we're kind of good to go. All right, crack the Vista. Blue-black. Yeah, seems like a Reanimator deck. Okay, Preordain. Sure.
Sure.
That doesn't disrupt our plan of hitting you in the face.
No, it does not.
All right, they got nothing.
All right, cool. So for your turn, I would swing with the Porcelain Legionnaire first. You can play the plane.
Oh yeah, I got you.
This might be very aggressive.
Vindicate
but
the Water Grave.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that might be the call here, and get rid of their blue source.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing.
Especially after they've already committed on the Ponder or the Preordain. Oh, there you go.
But even then, like, that still sets them back a ton. So
Yeah,
here's a question, because like now I'm like, do I?
It cuts them off. It cuts them off of the double blue. I think.
I could also just play.
I think
here.
you play Feast and Famine and first swing for 3 and see what happens. Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then play Feast and Famine and the Swamp.
Yeah. I should have left up the Godless Shrine, but I was already too late tapping. Yeah. I wanted to play the island in case they are playing or land first, in case they had days.
Yeah, no. That's why I said play the swamp and
Yep.
then play the feast and famine.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot for them. 'Cause they have full like cards in hand, but this does mean that if we can equip attack and get through, then we get to untap Armageddon, and they're in a rough spot.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean this is what this deck is technically designed to do.
This is my favorite way of playing. Magic.
Yeah. I was talking about this. I was like, someone, people always complain about in Commander, their least favorite thing is blowing up lands. And I was like, I have played against Charles enough, just having like a Corey out or like lands blown up, or just like, I'm like, it doesn't phase me anymore. It's like, you could do the most horrible things to me, like in terms of like stacks pieces, and I'm like, yeah, I was here. I've been here before. Like,
Jason's been on this show before, right?
yeah.
All right, so a long time ago, back in high school, Jason had a Hikori deck that he played against me, and that changed my life.
I believe that.
It was like an Azorius Hikori deck.
Okay, so they made my
this is an elk.
sword a 3/3.
That's great.
Oh, so this is actually hilarious. Yeah, so I'm going to attack and kill Oko here.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to go to combat. Oko.
I think you can blow up the lands now.
Yes, so I'm going to blow up the lands and then play the land out.
Yep.
And then next turn, if we draw a land, we can play Stoneforge. And,
Yeah, this is really
Yep,
bad.
there we go. All right, cool. All right, so what are we signing in? We saw that they were seemingly a Sultai control deck.
Something. I think it's Sultai Reanimator.
Sultai poop, Sultai soup. Do we want
I'm
to
sure.
go more aggro? Do we think maybe bigger removal?
I think something very destructive to our opponents works very well. I think, let's see, let's look at what we have here. We have the Ephemery, Adonto Vanguard, Cathar Commando. Cathar Commando is actually still really good just for the 3/1 body. Yeah. Let's take a look at our interaction suite. I don't know how good Dismember is actually here. I almost would rather have. Well, actually, Winds of Abandonment can also be pretty bad. But if they're like, running like Ink, Ink Dweller, Leviathan, or whatever, we would want to overload Winds of Abandon. But we also have difficulty getting that much mana anyway. So I think we're just kind of like SOL if they.
Yeah. I mean, we also didn't see anything that really implies that they were Reanimator. They were the like blue, black, green, but they didn't discard anything. They didn't. I mean, they played Oko. Like that was literally the only thing they played.
Alright, we can try to like 4D chess here and think about the fact that our opponent just saw us Armageddon them and beat them to death with sort of Feast and Famine and Porcelain Legionnaire. So what do you think they would sideboard in to interact with that? What do we counter?
Try to bring in cheaper removal.
Yeah, so they're going to be pretty removal heavy, right? So
then do we bring in something like Gideon back in?
Oh yes.
So we can bring Gideon back and maybe take out Commando, who's a 3/1. We didn't see a ton of stuff for the hit with it.
So in Sultai, I don't think they have an easy way of dealing with one toughness guys. It's not like they're.
Okay,
it's not
true.
like Infest is in this set or anything like that.
We got 50 seconds, so we gotta.
I think you could cut Elishnorn actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's just kind of like wins more kind of thing.
Gotcha. We're also on the play, so we are a step behind in this one, so I think you're probably correct. Oh, this one's pretty good. We got Dismember on one, Stoneforge.
Yeah, we're keeping this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love hitting my land drops. Especially if we're an Armageddon deck. I think, actually as an Armageddon deck, I think that we do want to be running like 17 lands anyway.
This is kind of perfect. We can either drop Porcelain or Adonto. Really, so they do the same thing. Depending on what they play here, if they play a creature. Oh, they're exploring. Okay.
Our opponents do not are traumatized.
I mean, I don't blame them. We vindicated their land and then Armageddon them. We blew up their lands on 2 separate occasions in that game.
We could have just played the value game. Oh, look.
This is
my
fine.
God. End of turn, I think we dismembered this guy.
We are 100% dismembering this.
Yeah. Get that
They
guy
get to draw a
here.
card, but this way they can't wheel and just utterly ruin our day.
Yes. Yeah, so this does look like a Sultai control deck.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty good for us to be jamming something like Gideon here. Because Gideon is kind of hard to deal with. Oh yes, and we have another piece of removal. Let's play the Porcelain Legionnaire.
We have paid 6 life on turn 2, yeah. Oh, it does Shadow eat your heart out. Alright, I mean, being on 4 mana is scary, but... Okay.
Right, yeah, Chupacabra is great. Get that out of the way.
Yeah, that's
right,
kind of
fun.
fun.
And then we're gonna Skyclave it.
Okay. This does give them a 4/4 though if Skyclaver dies.
True.
I mean, I don't think it's bad still. It might have been better to leave that as a 2/2 now that its job is done. I don't know.
That's true. We might have been too hasty about the Skyclave here, but I want to see what else they're going to burn.
Okay, that
Fallen
card.
Shinobi. Okay, well that's actually good that we Skyclaved it then.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so Fallen Shinobi. Oh my God, we
So
are on a roll here.
So
All right, I think we pitch the Vanguard and to Solitude the Fallen Shinobi.
Do we not
and
just
then we
play both these, block this, and pay 4 life next turn, and then next turn we actually hard cast this?
Oh, could we? Well, they untap. That's the thing.
So I mean, I agree, but now we're down 2 cards, and
No, we go up a card by playing Stoneforge Mystic. We net neutral here, and I just don't think that our opponent has much left in the tank.
Okay.
After this.
I think it's fine. I mean, I get it.
All right. And for Stoneforge, I would find a sort of Feast and Famine.
Yeah, that seems really good against them.
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to use the ability, and I would love to get this sort of Feast and Famine. Yep, I agree. We got a Wyos to go due to the damage, but you know.
We've actually switched the tempo. We are now the beatdown, whereas before we were playing very defensively. From the Leovold start, our opponent now has to. Yeah, all right. Sorcerer's Spyglass. They're going to name sort of Feast and Famine.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's good.
Yeah.
They didn't play a threat.
And we only get hit for 3 here, but it is annoying.
No, I mean, like, I would play the Horizon Canopy and just draw a card if we don't hit. All right, yeah. Look, top deck of the century.
Yeah, it's like.
No, don't cast it.
Oh, because I put it into play. I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
Oh, they just scooped.
Okay. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. See, that's sort of like my thought process. If our opponent has like 3 major threats in their hand, I mean, like, chop it up to like bad luck or something like that. I just think that like we were definitely shifting the movement of the game to our advantage because we had to play defensively for most of the time. And so when we switched to being offensive, our opponent now has to play cards to play defensively against us, which is not good for them because that means, you know, they're losing momentum in that process. And even though we lose 1 card in terms of a disadvantage, the fact that we threaten with a sort of Feast and Famine, which literally covers 2 of their colors out of 3, means that they will soon be at the disadvantage, and they need to find an answer quick, which was the Sorcerer's Spyglass, which is great for us.
Yeah, I mean, it does also mean, I mean, it did feel like that when they burned Time Walk as an Explorer to get Leovold out early. It definitely felt like they were like, all right, here's our big bombs. You know, you're not going to be able to keep up with them. And so once I agree that once you exile, you know, the Fallen Shinobi, it's like that clearly was their last ditch effort. They hard cast that. They did not ninjutsu it in. Yeah, it's like,
I mean, the ninjutsu would have been such an insane value because they bounced the Chupacabra back too.
Oh god, it would have been so. Oh god.
I'm very glad that our Skyclave gambit actually paid off and they didn't kill Skyclave.
Yeah, I was like that. Oh,
right
they're gonna get a
call,
4-drop, and it like no. Turns out it was the perfect thing to do there. All right, cool. I mean, let's go on the game 3. We can still 2-1 this easily.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, so we lost the die roll. This hand again though seems pretty powerful. It's slow, but Vanguard is indestructible. GTA means that very quickly we kind of gain a lot of advantage off of it.
I think we have the means to. All right. Well, let's fish this out. Like, I don't think like we could potentially get a better hand, but I think the likelihood of us getting a hand better than this versus the likelihood that we get a hand worse than this, is less than the likelihood of us getting a hand worse than this. So, let's keep this right now.
I agree with that. Okay, they're red. Ooh, they didn't cast anything. Actually, Adana Vanguard's good against red and bad. Having to pay the 4 life is awkward, but GTA is incredible against red decks.
I mean, the 4 life is basically our way of bleeding their cards.
Yeah, it's true. But it also keeps the body on board in order to block as need be and kill anything they have. Okay, that's annoying, but fine. It means they're not doing anything if they spend their turn doing that. Oh, unless they have Black Lotus, of course. Well...
Tisk tisk. Green red.
Oh, Minskin Boo.
Oh, wow. Okay, alright.
We're not just dead, but we're pretty dead here.
Yeah, this is pretty rough. Alright, so in times like these, I would just play this game out just to get information from my opponent if I'm losing.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's see what else our opponents are packing here, and then we'll sideboard appropriately. And we'll also readjust our play patterns here.
I mean, I don't think there's much we can do against Black Lotus, Minskin Boo. Like, those are arguably the 2 of the most powerful cards in Vintage Cube.
Well, if you go, like, turn 1 into Plains instead of the dual land, and then turn 2, Danto Vanguard, like, you would have been fine.
Sure, yeah. This is interesting. Okay, no, this is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. You want to hold out.
Yeah, so I'm try play. I just want to play Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So theoretically,
Minskin Boo has trample though.
I mean, so I can also flash in Solitude.
Yeah, but I would probably pitch Vanguard to it because now I think you pitch the Spellbinder instead.
Well, so this way they can tick up Boo, which they're going to do, and then if they tick up Boo, it means they've used their turn for their turn. I have a way to attack Minskin Boo to get him down some. It's not ideal, but I kind of want to do something. Because unless we draw a swamp, we can't Vindicate. So try do Vindicate probably because I can't cast it. Yeah.
Yeah, probably pitch Vindicate. Though if we top deck a swamp, that would suck.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be really awkward if we top deck a swamp, but I said I think we're basically dead anyway in this game.
Yeah, no, we're just here to force our opponents to play more cards.
Yep. So they can tick up here, which is annoying, but it doesn't do anything, and they cannot tick down at instant speed, so that's nice. So maybe opponent has nothing. Maybe
they're gonna make a construct and then tick up, right?
You would think so, yeah.
But they didn't. They just ticked up and did nothing. Wow. All right, let's take a look at their hand before we go to combat.
I agree. If anything, this is sending information. Interesting.
Okay, so they have the Abrade, and they can't really cast the Abrade if we exile. I think we take the Abrade.
Yeah, I agree. They did it so that because they could have targeted Vanguard, but we could have done attacked. I still think I attack, make them. I mean, I lose 4 life.
Card?
Is that worth it? Because we can't.
And then they make a Boo, and then the swing for 4, the crackback.
Yeah. No, I think we don't attack. This sucks.
Not ideal.
Yeah, I think attacking's really awkward because they're gonna make the guy, because we just lose 4 life, we go to 5, and then they attack with a 4/4.
Well, again, we're here. Our goal is to get information. So the biggest success that we can take out of a losing position like this is getting them to play more cards out of their hand and getting them to show us what they have. Like this Urza Saga is going to trigger now, and we're going to see what artifacts they're packing.
But it does seem like this is a deck that, it depends on what they get, might be a definitely good thing to have Cathar and Relic Warder in, so we'll see. I think Relic Warder can hit Urza Saga, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
They have a Mox and a Black Lotus, cool, good.
I've done that before, by the way.
Oh, hitting the Relic Warden on a Urza Saga?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that. That 100% checks out.
No, I hit it on my own Urza Saga.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It
Just
was
take,
so that I could blink my Urza Saga.
God. Do we just take 7 here, I guess?
Go down to 2?
I mean,
Ooh, scary.
or am I just chumping with Vanguard, like letting it die?
I think you just take the 7 here.
Okay. I mean, like I said, alright. Jeez. Okay. I think we're gonna die. I don't think we played GTA out. Let them know.
Yeah, I don't think we play the GTA. I think you play a planes, and then pass the turn.
Well, I mean, they just sacrifice Boo. Like, it doesn't actually help us.
Okay, yeah, then I think you just concede.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Your opponent might want to showboat, and that's good for us.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's possible. Like, usually not on game 1.
I would cut the Dothy Voidwalker here. There's nothing useful about this Dothy Voidwalker
Okay.
in this matchup, and it's also a hindrance to our particular game plan.
Sure.
We need to cut it in some interaction. Parallax Wave is actually really good here, because it deals with Boo tokens a lot. Winds of Abandon is also really good. Angel of Sanctions is also really good as well. Like we're switching into a more mid-range deck, and we need to provide answers to a threat that's faster than us. Because a lot of the things that we do to slow our opponents down aren't really going to slow them down, but removal will give us like the edge that we.
Okay, so what I'm thinking then is we bring in Signet, cut.
We would cut. I think we cut Elish Norn here. I think she's a win more in this situation, and our opponents need to. I mean, we saw a Restoration Angel, which is troubling or disturbing to see. I just think that she's too slow. Is the thing. Like she would be there for us to be winning. She's not there to save us. You know.
Well, so my suggestion would be bring in Signet, cut Armageddon and/or Vanguard, and go more of that control plan. Bring in like Winds of Abandon, Signet, cut Vanguard, Armageddon.
I like that, considering that we saw Mox Ruby as well, right?
Yeah, and then bring in Winds from one action and ramp to get to the because we're adding Angle of Sanctions, we're adding Parallax Wave.
Do we have any form of card draw or some way to gain additional card advantage?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, we have the Planeswalkers. We want to bring in a Planeswalker.
Gideon might be good.
We could cut Signet still. We don't need Signet. Our curve still stops at 5.
Yeah, but it means that we get into a turn 4, and this is kind of relevant when we're on the play. I think we can cut Signet later.
Okay.
When we.
All right. So
Oust is also really good.
what is?
Oust.
Okay. So what are we cutting then? Well, this is sorcery speed. So yeah. But yeah. What are we cutting there for these?
I would probably just cut Gideon again.
Okay. And we need to get one more then if we're cutting this.
I think we cut Porcelain Legionnaire.
Okay.
I feel like you probably should have cut Restoration Angel for Gideon, but well, whatever. All right, this is fine.
Yeah.
We have 3 mana here, and we can figure out the rest. Our Stoneforge grabs us like Jite, or Sword of Feast and Famine, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's annoying. I guess this gets to. I mean, to be fair, this does get to kill Minsk, so that's good.
Okay. I also would avoid playing the Horizon Canopy.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we play the planes until we have to. Yeah, I honestly think it's funny that I think that's one of the reasons I kind of like Legacy Cube over Vintage Cube, though, is the power is really fun to cast, but it also leads to some games that are just completely like non-games. So planes, and we pass it over. The classic Charles start.
The most dangerous start in the game. Does he have the swords?
Are you?
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
I know. It's just the
Because it's not Miskin here, right? It's Adeline.
which is not great. Okay, so it's also not great for us, but it's fine.
This is totally fine, right? Because they're now at 3 cards in hand. We're going to play Stoneforge Mystic, I believe.
Yeah, it blocks Esper Sentinel. We can't
Yep.
block Adeline anyway, and we can block the token for the guy.
Yep. And then we're going to find Umazawa Shite, which removes another card out of our deck, right? Increasing our velocity.
Yes.
And then next turn, we Skyclave the Adeline.
Yep, I agree.
This is a great way of demonstrating how playing on curve versus an accelerated start can still work against an accelerated start. It makes cards that feel really, really powerful, like Black Lotus, feel normal. And this is great because for an explosive turn 1, this is a very humble turn 2.
Yeah, it's true.
Alright, yeah, block the token, kill it. And then we're going to take 3. Alright. So for the price of like 2 cards, our opponent is now at.
So here's the other option. We could also oust and put in like sword at the end of turn and just oust this guy.
Is it no, because they get the card draw off of Esper Sentinel. I'd rather Skyclave.
Oh, yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah, you were correct. You were correct.
Right, and we hit that one.
Yep.
And then next turn, and then you could swing with Stoneforge.
I was like, the very rare Stoneforge attack for 1.
Yeah. And then next turn, if their development is still modest, I would start attacking their mana sources.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, or I can just kill that.
Yeah, you can kill the Porcelain Legionnaire too.
It's annoying, but it's okay.
Cool. Hopefully we hit another land.
I mean, I'm also okay just, like, if we don't draw anything, yeah. So I'm also cool casting Oust here, targeting the Legionnaire, and then paying the 1.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But do I pay the 1? I do.
Alright, and then swing in for 3. Get that 3 life back.
It is annoying that we did not find a land here.
That's fine. Our opponent didn't find a land either, and there are also 2 cards in hand.
It's true.
If we hit like a black source, this Vindicate will be really, really, really preem. And they looks like they hit a dud.
Yeah, they're going for the race.
Cool. All right. So we have a Winds of Abandon. We definitely don't want to play it. We want to swing with Skyclave Apparition.
And then end of turn put in GTA.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. You read my mind.
Yeah, because then if we get GTA Online, then they lose Esper Sentinel. It's really tough for them. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, heck, even if we need to end of turn, we can always Cathar if they play something crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So they replay Legionnaire. All right, and I would flash in Cathar now.
Yes.
Because it has first strike.
Cathar does not. Oh, the Porcelain Legionnaire does, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like, you will not get through with GTA here. This is such a grindy game. I actually love this.
Alright. I just kill this, correct?
Kill this.
Boy, it would have been nice to draw
a land.
Yeah.
Right. Swinging with Skyclave here, right?
Okay.
You know, what's so wonderful about this is that literally we fought off against a Black Lotus.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? And we are also doing this while mana screwed.
Yeah. I just hope, yeah, we'll see what they start top decking. Because their deck is definitely a little more mana greedy than ours is.
Yeah. But, and it's great because they don't even have a green source right now to play Minskin Boo.
It's true.
They're so, alright, cool. There's an Ephemerate. I don't particularly care too much about that. Let's just swing with Skyclave Apparition and then hold up the Ephemerate.
I agree.
Right?
Yep. I agree with this. We can hold up Ephemerate and or put the GTA in. So if we draw a land next turn, it'd be ideal because then we can equip GTA.
No. End of turn, we want to. They have 4 cards in hand. Yeah, end of turn, I think we just put down Feast and Famine.
Oh, okay, sure. Ooh.
Oh yeah, they're going to do Fury. Nice. All right, that's fine. All right, what card are they pitching for Fury? I want to see this.
They pitched Ren and 6.
All right, cool. And let's see how they're going to divvy up the damage. All right, so I would blink the Skyclave Apparition. And you're gonna pay the 1, yeah.
Yeah. The only awkward part is, they're gonna cast it in response.
A grade? Alright,
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's fine. We do lose the Ephemerate though, which is annoying.
No, that's fine. I think we're gonna hit a land next turn. I just feel it. Alright, that's fine. It's still something. It's a Dismember. And they're at 1 card in hand. I think, oh man, if only we had black sources here. That's a 3/3, correct? And they're gonna hit us for 4?
Yeah.
Dismember. Alright, so Dismember would literally do the same thing for us, plus 1 more damage. So I would pass the turn and see what they do, and then we'll dismember if they try to hit us.
The odds of us not trying to land by now is honestly, either of us, is honestly wild. Like, this is some crazy shuffler nonsense.
I mean, this is the kind of game I live.
I know.
Yeah, I think we dismember this.
It's gonna cost us so much life because we also.
I mean, it actually only costs us like, I think, well, technically it costs us 2 more life, right? Because we're going to pay for it. Yeah. So we lose 5 life in total versus 3.
Yeah.
But we deal with a problem because it's going to tempo us next turn. Is the issue. All right, cool. We have a giver runes that we're going to just play.
Yep, it's a 1/2. Suck
Yep.
it, opponent. No.
Oh, this is fine. This means our Winds of Abandon is now rather worthwhile.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it worth giving them the card to play something like GTA?
At this point, yes.
I don't love it, but I think we need.
I mean, because they presented a green source to us,
Yeah.
we want to up the stakes here, right? Because we're losing otherwise. If we're not going to.
Yeah, because I couldn't even play Feast yet, so I had to play GTA there. Okay. It also doesn't help that the only lands we have is doing damage to us.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I'm not particularly a fan of this Campy. That is such a weak top deck. That's also a really weak top deck.
Yeah,
I feel
but
kind of sorry for our opponent here.
this is a weird game. It's super interesting to walk through this with you, though. Like I said, this is one of those games where, okay, that's. What are you getting?
They're going to grab a wasteland
Wasteland?
to waste, yeah, the Horizon Canopy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. At this point, though, like, so I get why you do that, but it also feels like we are so behind on lands. Out of 23 cards in our deck, 15 are lands.
Like our opponent doesn't have good draws. That's the problem, and so they don't want to lose to GTA. So they're trying to prevent us from playing GTA. But we finally hit our land drop now, out of all the odds.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're going to retake this game back. Right.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see. They have 1 card in hand.
If they had the card to kill the giver, I think they probably would. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So this is also very, very sad and embarrassing for our opponent.
Why?
Honestly, I don't know why our opponent didn't kill. Oh wait, no, yeah. Wasteland can only hit one.
It's not Mom, yeah.
Yeah. But no. The Solitude's fine. They hardcast Solitude. We gain 1 life. They're gonna like start taking it back. With Solitude attacks next turn, but I think we are forced to Winds of Abandon, or if we hit a land, we can Vindicate.
Yeah.
But our opponent is kind of awkward. Oh,
they gotta draw 2 cards off this. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Alright, there's the Ursa Saga. Now, overloading this Winds would be great right about now.
Yeah, we're a little far away from that right now.
Yeah, take 4.
Yep, take 4. We are dead no matter what.
Really?
I think so. Because we can Winds here and we take 3 from there. We can... I guess we can Flicker Wisp?
I mean, it'll come back and attack next turn. Like, we don't have a good...
I think we are dead.
No, if we Flicker Wisp the Solitude, we still only gain 3 life.
Yeah.
Alright. I think it's fine. We'll call it there.
Okay.
Yeah. That was actually a really close game.
Yeah, so I would say definitely that last game was actually really close. It was actually really interesting. Like mathematically, the fact that neither of us drew lands for I think it was like 7 turns was crazy. Like we were down to literally I think 4 cards in our deck not being lands at that point.
Yeah. I mean, I think we played that very, very, very well. Like we knew what our opponents were doing. We knew what we were doing, and we definitely had like the advantage against our opponents. We just needed to hit the resources for it. And if we were just even like a smidge luckier than average,
Yeah.
or a smidge luckier than below average, right? like I think we would have came out on top. Like we had quite the dearth in terms of like mana, but we were playing our cards way more efficiently than our opponents. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like I said, the fact also like they had, I mean, that deck was the fact that we were that close is kind of crazy when you look at the fact that they turn one Black Lotused us, they strip mined us, wastelanded us, solituded us, and furied us. Those are arguably some of the most powerful cards like kind of that exist.
Yeah,
Like,
we literally fought from a 2 mana deficit against our opponent and still held our grounds to the point where we almost took back the game up until the Season Pyromancer. The Season Pyromancer was, that's a big problem. That's a big yikes.
Yeah,
but if they didn't have Season Pyromancer, it was just Solitude and Esper Sentinel and like some like random bloke that doesn't even like get you extra cards or whatnot. Like I think we would have been fine in that situation. I think that that's like pretty good for all things considered.
yeah, I completely agree. I think overall, like I said, this deck was pretty powerful. I think I feel bad because I think this deck deserved much more than a 1-2. Like you saw a game, like the second game, or match 2, where we annihilated them, just absolutely unadulterated annihilated them. And I feel like we really got kind of unlucky in game 3 and game 1. Our opponent just really kind of drew perfectly, and our deck ran a little slow, and they kind of just really ran it. I think our deck.
I think there were certain things. I think there were certain things that we could have taken away from what Game 1 and Game 3 taught us. I think that, for one thing, our deck was less Death and Taxacy. It was more like a rock deck without the green. It was like a black-white rock, where we weren't really taxing our opponents. We weren't really hitting their resources too hard, but we were really playing up on the interaction suite and being responsive to whatever our opponents were doing and really just grinding them out in terms of advantage. But we didn't make their lives too difficult in terms of like what they could or could not play,
Yeah, unfortunately, we never really got to like get Spellbinder out and then start flickering it, or we never really
Exactly.
we never saw Blade Splicer in any of these games or Restoration Angel. Like we never really got to kind of get that more controlling, more taxi elements in. And of course, we don't have Athalia. There's definitely some cards that would have been nice to see that would have really helped this deck, I think, go just over the edge. Because I do agree, we ended up a little too mid-rangey, I think. More so than this deck really wants to be, as opposed to getting like an early disruption on board. We didn't really have that till at least turn 3 a lot of games.
I think the mid-rangey aspect is actually fine, but like recognizing that now, I think that if I looked at it like if I did it again, I think that there were certain cards I would prioritize more than others. Like I think like Parallax Wave was probably something that we should have been mainboarding rather than sideboarding, because we are hitting towards like that higher ceiling. Something like Dothy Voidwalker might not have been necessary at all. It functions better as a hate bear, but by recognizing that we're not that type of deck, we can emphasize more on the other cards that we did draft, which are like the strong removal suite that we had, right? And this way, we're not worried too much about trying to adjust for a double black pip in our selection, and it also makes our cuts more cleaner in this way, where we're not looking at the small guys to aggro bum rush our opponents, but we're looking at like cards like Gideon or Elspeth to like begin to control the board out of our opponents. And then we're using cards like Tidehole Scholar and Elite Spellbinder to ensure that our opponents don't have any tricks up their sleeves to stop us from incrementally whittling them down. And recognizing the fact that our curve was just so awkward. I think that the reason why we were slow, yes, our opponents did have like really strong accelerants, and we didn't draw very well, but I've chopped that up also partly to, well, what are we running in our decks to mitigate the slow start. And I think game 2 really demonstrated that very, very, very well, how we actually mitigate a slow start. And so did game 3. Like, it was through the use of our removal spell and really good timing on how we play our removal and our interaction that we were able to take back the game from a defensive position where we were on the back pedal to us being on the front forward. right? It's like a fighting game in that situation. You know, you're being beat down, and then you start turning things around, and then you slowly chip your opponent's health away. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
There's some reflections about that. I think that was pretty good. I think, you know, we learned a lot today about playing mono white, especially the kind of mono white that doesn't have Thalia, as you mentioned, Andrew. I think this also showcases how important Thalia is
Yeah.
to that type of deck.
I was gonna say, so I mean, that being said though, so you know, we didn't do so great today, but you know, I think that means I need to have you back on and try to learn take these lessons, learn from them, and you know, come back and try to make Mono White shine with these things we figured out.
Yes, because I think what we've also uncovered is how to play a different type of mono white that isn't just Deathling Tax's white weenie aggro, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is actually pretty cool. It's more exciting because we're exploring like a different archetype than what people typically think of in terms of like mono white in Vintage Cube.
Yeah, I mean, it was very much more like, yeah, mono white value tax blink almost. Like, we had a large blink package that was quite powerful. Like I said, it turns out, you know, we didn't see the blink part of the package, which didn't help. But yeah, no, I think you're onto something, that it's definitely a very different approach to the mono white that so many people are used to in this cube. Cool.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to shout out anything? Do you want to say where people can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. My handle is Ilvaldi. It's ILVALDI. I don't know if you can like include it in the description. Or
I
whatever.
can indeed.
All right, cool. Yeah, but you can find me there. I usually have these kinds of musings online, and lately I'm on like a casual commander binge right now. I'm building tons of casual commander decks, and I'm taking the lessons that I learned from like things like these, and then brewing up some archetype or design to try out things that I think are like cool and fun to express through the lens of mono white. But as you saw here, right, doing it with other colors as well, and sort of like seeing how your opponents do it is also very, very, very interesting. And yeah, you can see more of that on my Twitter.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much for being on. Yeah, and everyone tuning in, stick around because we'll be doing more Vintage Cube, and maybe we'll get some more guests. So yeah, see you guys later.